An Aquarius, there's someone you can't stop thinking about, and the meeting between the two of you was no coincidence. The Moon-Jupiter axis appearing through the 9th and 12th houses in your natal chart marks the intersection of two soul journeys. Uranus, your ruling planet, is activating karmic zones, awakening potentials long forgotten. This person didn't come just to exist in your orbit. They are a signal from the universe. As Jupiter moves through your 10th house, you're being forced to step away from your old way of life. They are the catalyst, cracking the walls you've built, letting the light seep in. They don't make you feel comfortable, but through them, you've become braver, more intentional, and more true to yourself. The square between Mars and Saturn in your 7th house reveals how challenging this connection can be. They're stubborn, rigid, and internally torn, out of sync with their own inner evolution. They retreat, hide, leaving you in doubt. Under the influence of Uranus, the planet of awakening, they're entering a cycle of expanded consciousness. They don't belong to the crowd. If their lunar nodes fall along the Leo-Aquarius axis, their destiny is to shift from personal spotlight to service for the collective. Hence, they must lose their old roles, pass through confusion and disorientation. With Pluto nearing the 6th house, their entire belief system is collapsing, making room for a more authentic self. They're repaying old karmic debts, and these unplanned losses are the gateway to their rebirth. The Venus retrograde in the 5th house forces them to abandon old love patterns. No more conquest. They must now learn to love with a bare heart. They once oozed charm and confidence, but now none of it matters. As for you, despite time or distance, their presence lingers. This bond isn't behavioral, it's vibrational, like a soul contract signed long before this life. They didn't come to make you feel at ease. They came to touch the dark places you've avoided. Jupiter shining on your 11th house invites you to learn unconditional love and the art of setting boundaries. You're learning to love yourself by not giving everything away. Saturn in your 12th house marks a period of internal healing. You are no longer who you were, not out of weakness, but because you've grown. And even in this strength, you still choose to protect them. Under Chiron's influence, you no longer love them as before, yet you keep them as a memory. You no longer need them near, yet you still wish them peace. This connection didn't begin in this lifetime. Maybe you once lived with them in another. Maybe you owed them a promise. Maybe in a past life's farewell, you were helpless to keep them from leaving. All these things, though buried in the subconscious, are now awakened through karmic triggers, a reminder that something remains unfinished. You've tried to let go, you've run. But no one can outrun a soul that's crossed life and death with them. No one escapes what was built through sacrifice and longing. The birth chart never lies. You now stand at a doorway. One side holds the haunted past, the other a clear but unfamiliar future. If you choose to look back, they'll still be there. But if you choose to move forward, you will find yourself. This isn't a lesson meant to forget, it's a lesson to remember. To love yourself more, to know that even if you've been hurt, you are still worthy of love again, not from them, but from someone more aligned. As Jupiter aligns with the new moon in Cancer, a golden moment for emotional recovery unfolds. Love is not sacrifice. Love is not saving a soul that doesn't want to be saved. Love is presence, two people who choose to grow together. Are you ready to rewrite this story? If yes, say it. Thank you for coming, but I choose to walk away. And if love still lingers, let it begin with yourself. Your journey is not over, but this painful chapter can close now. From here, you will step into a new one, where love is no longer a battlefield, but a home. In the second half of 2025, under the light of Jupiter and the new moon in Cancer, you will be given a new opportunity, a new person, a new path, a completely different you. Don't be afraid to lose what was never meant for you. When you dare to let go, what's right will come. Believe in destiny, but don't be imprisoned by it. Let your energy choose what's truly meant. Because you are Aquarius, born to lead by the light within. And now it's time to believe in that light again. They didn't come as a pleasant gift, they arrived as a challenge. A soul assignment wrapped in the body of a real person. And the moment they entered your life, your natal chart, especially the 7th, 8th, or 12th house, seemed to light up. If they felt like a familiar stranger, it's because they truly carried the frequency of a soul who had once journeyed with you. The aspects between the lunar nodes and personal planets in your synastry chart reveal a connection that transcends linear time. They're not easy to read, not easy to get close to, and certainly not easy to love. If they carry a fixed sign, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, or Aquarius, especially with multiple personal planets in one of these, then their strong ego, fierce loyalty, and guarded beliefs make perfect sense. And somehow you, unknowingly, touched that fortress. But beneath that strength is uncertainty. If their progress chart shows Saturn or Pluto nearing a personal planet, they're being forced to undergo an inner transformation, to face the truths they've long buried. They've been used to the spotlight as a leader, an influencer, or someone others follow. But if their north node falls in Aquarius, or the 11th house, then their destiny isn't about personal glory, but service to something bigger than themselves. That's why they had to lose their old identity, face doubt, isolation, and moments of disorientation. Pluto, transiting their 6th or 10th house, may be urging them to reevaluate their beliefs, who they are, what they live for, and whether their current path still aligns. They didn't volunteer for this lesson, they were thrown into it, and you're part of that process. Your connection wasn't meant to make them feel safe. It came to reflect back the unhealed parts they've avoided. You raised questions they tried to ignore, touched wounds they tried to deny, and just through your presence, they began to tremble. In modern astrology, a karmic connection isn't just destined to meet. It's a spiritual reaction triggered by crosspoints between the lunar nodes and someone else's planets. If your south node aligns with their sun, moon, or Mercury, they came to activate you, and vice versa. For them, love was never lacking. It was misunderstood. They believed love was admiration, pursuit, and validation. But when Venus is retrograde in their progress chart or under tension with Saturn, they begin to realize love isn't conquest, it's presence, commitment, the willingness to show up with vulnerability. They may be silent, distant, gone, but it doesn't mean they've forgotten you. It means they're not yet strong enough to face what you reflect. You are the mirror of their soul, and that scares them, because in that mirror, they don't just see you, they see themselves, unhealed, unready, and incomplete, so they choose distance. But don't mistake silence for indifference. Don't confuse distance with absence. In soul connections, energy moves regardless of time and space, and if you still feel them in your energetic field, you're not wrong, they're still there. However, you cannot save them. You didn't come to fix them. You are a trigger, a frequency, and ultimately, they must walk their path to return, to turn away, or to disappear for good. This journey wasn't designed for you to hold on to them. It was meant for you to realize when someone causes you pain, it's not because you're weak, but because you're being prepared for awakening. And they, intentionally or not, have been the perfect catalyst. You didn't choose to love them, but you did choose not to turn away from your true emotions. And that so naturally made you the one who began the awakening journey. Since they appeared, you haven't only questioned them, but yourself. Why are you so easily hurt? Why does their silence make you so anxious? Why, as an Aquarius known for clarity, did you fall into such emotional turbulence? The answer doesn't lie in them. It lies in you, in wounds that had long been dormant, now reawakened by a soul carrying the exact frequency you once lacked. Your birth chart may show the south node in your 7th house, a clear sign that you've often put others above yourself. In past lives or early chapters of this life, you learned to love by sacrificing, submitting, striving to please. But now, with the lunar nodes shifting toward the north node in your 1st house, you're being called to love yourself first, to be whole within yourself before connecting with anyone else. Their presence wasn't a mistake. It was an opportunity. They're the catalyst, sometimes a painful one, forcing you to see the fractures in your self-worth. You thought you had moved on, that you were stable and strong. But when they arrived, every defense collapsed, and you were left to face yourself, raw and real. That's exactly what the universe wants now, for you to come home, to yourself. If Saturn is currently entering your 12th house or forming a square to your natal moon or Venus, you're in a cycle of emotional restructuring. It's a quiet, profound, inescapable phase. This isn't the time to open your heart to someone else. It's the time to close the doors and listen inwardly. You might feel empty, but that emptiness is not failure. It's a sign that you're truly living with your heart, undefended, unasked. And only in that state can the universe's deepest messages reach you. Pay attention to your recent dreams, to old obsessions, to fears you thought you had conquered. They're not returning to weaken you. They're returning to be healed. If the moon is currently conjunct Chiron in your 12th house, this is a reminder the wound never vanished. It's only been waiting for the right moment to be seen clearly. You loved them unconditionally. You chose them, even when they didn't choose you. And now, you need the courage to admit the most important truth. You lost your boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to shut others out. They're the shelter for the most intact parts of you, so you don't drown in love that isn't reciprocated. With Jupiter transiting your 11th house, the house of community, dreams, and future, you're being reminded it's time to channel that love into something greater. Not just for one person, but for your own evolution. You don't need to force yourself to forget. You don't need to pretend to be strong. You just need to be honest with yourself. So sit down and write. Write everything you want to say to them, not to send, but to understand yourself. When you write down the pain, you begin to release the trapped energy inside. And when you write what you truly long for, you begin to rebuild your belief system around love. Love is not chasing. It's not fixing someone. Love is the meeting of two souls who have healed or are actively healing. And to find that kind of love, you must walk through this phase. You must learn to love yourself the way you once loved them, without conditions, without fear, without needing anything in return. Maybe right now you're sitting in a dark room where memories, emotions, and regrets all return at once. But it's in that darkness that true light has a chance to appear. And that light, it doesn't come from them. It comes from you. They're changing, even if you haven't noticed. The energy is already shifting. You're beginning to see them differently, with fewer expectations, with more understanding. You no longer need them to come back, because you're returning to yourself. The next part will be an invitation, a glimmer at the end of the tunnel after you've walked through enough shadows. That's when you'll begin to redefine love and welcome the rebirth of who you truly are, a radiant, free, and whole Aquarius. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean erasing either. Letting go means no longer letting the past dictate the future. At this moment, you might still be thinking about them. A part of you might still hope, long to be understood, and want to reconnect. But if you listen closely to the movement of the universe, especially the conjunction between Jupiter and the moon in Cancer, you will clearly sense this. The energy is pulling you away from emotional patterns of the past, preparing you for a new cycle of radiance. Your current chart shows that Aquarius is being deeply influenced by outer planets like Uranus and Pluto, marking a phase of soul reset. If your 4th or 8th house is being activated, you're not just healing a relationship, you're healing a layer of memory buried deep within, perhaps one carried over from a past life or one repeated through many former connections. You once believed that if you were good enough, loving enough, patient enough, they would come back. But astrology doesn't run on effort, it runs on resonance. Two people can love each other deeply, but if one is walking toward the light while the other remains stuck in the shadows of ego, then that path must split, not to punish, but to give each person the space to evolve in their own way. In the collective astrological chart, Aquarius is the sign receiving the greatest challenges, but also the highest potential for rebirth. Transits like Saturn moving into Pisces or Pluto briefly leaving Aquarius only to return are signals that you're in the midst of a mask removal process, confronting the very truths you've been avoiding for years. What you need most right now is not love from someone else. It's unconditional acceptance from yourself. Allow yourself to hurt, to grieve, to remember, and then to leave. Leave behind expectations. Leave behind the version of them you created in your mind. Leave behind the dream of walking forward together. Because if that were meant to happen, they would still be here. But they're not. They've chosen their path, and they have the right to do so. Just like you, You have the right not to keep yourself trapped in a loop, not to keep sacrificing your inner peace for a shadow that no longer feels real. As the lunar nodes prepare to shift from Taurus Scorpio to Aries Libra, you will feel a strong invitation to act. Don't just understand, move. You don't need to know what comes next. You only need to trust this. When you choose yourself, the universe will rearrange itself to support your path. This act of letting go may not be the last time you feel pain, but it will be the first time you choose you. When you stop trying to change others, you begin to shift your own frequency, and from that point on, new people, situations, and opportunities on the same energetic wavelength will begin to appear. No more chasing, no more exhausting hope, no more unanswered questions, just you learning to live fully with yourself and opening up to what's coming next. And it is coming. If the sun is currently transiting your 11th or 12th house, or if your midheaven lies in a fire sign, then the second half of 2025 will bring powerful expansion. A new version of you is being formed, not from others' expectations, but from a profound sense of self-sovereignty, not because you have something to prove, but because you truly believe you deserve a life that is joyful and real. And then someone new will arrive, not like the one from the past, and not here to replace them. This person will see you without you needing to try. They will hear you without you having to say much. And most importantly, they will stay, not because you made them, but because they chose to walk beside you. Real love always arrives after you've chosen yourself. Not when you're perfect, but when you no longer need to save anyone and no longer need to be saved. You've reached the end of this journey, and if you're still listening now, you know something in you has changed. Even if you haven't said it out loud, even if you still think about them, but the frequency you're carrying, it's no longer the one you used to hold. The one you loved may never return, but the one you are becoming will never leave. Keep walking. Believe in the light that comes after the loss. Because you are an Aquarius, you were not born to live in repetition. You were born to evolve, to light the way. And your journey has only just begun.